What is up, YouTube? Today we're hiking Gunsight Pass Trail via east to west, starting at Lake McDonald's Lodge. We're 1.8 miles in. It's been about 50 minutes of almost straight uphill hiking. This is my third day in Glacier National Park. I landed 2 days ago at 12:30 a.m. and then caught a ride to the park. I've spent the last 2 nights in the Apgar campground while I was trying to secure a backcountry permit. I finally got one. It wasn't my ideal trip, but we're in the backcountry. So we started at Lake McDonald Lodge. Our campground is going to be the Sperry Creek campground. We got 4.9 miles left. Tomorrow night is going to be Lake Ellen Wilson campground, which is only 2.3 miles left, so we'll have plenty of time tomorrow to go check some things out. Then we'll be coming out on the Sun Road, which is only 16.9 miles. This is gonna be a 3-day, 2-night trip. Let's get going. Excuse me. Excuse me. So I've been 6.2 miles at this point. Feels like every step of it was uphill, but we're getting there. Only got 0.2 miles to the chalet, and then another 0.3 miles after that, we're gonna be at the campground. So I'd stopped at the chalet, 0.1 miles back. I wish I would have got a reservation. It's pretty sweet in there. I got another 0.4 miles to the campground. We'll set up camp and have lunch. So we've made it to the entrance of camp. We're down here. You gotta make it to the food prep, cook up lunch. You have to hang your bear bag as soon as you're done cooking and as soon as you get to camp. .30 a.m. and I spent the last 2 days at Apgar while I was trying to get a backpacking permit, and finally got one for this trip that I'm on right now. It's not the ideal route that I was going for, but it's kind of tough getting a permit out here, so you gotta work with what you got. you can see Lake McDonald back in the back. Just a little bit behind that mountain right there. Peeks out on each side. So right here's the bear box. I have all my food, utensils, and fuel in those bags. It gets locked up in here, as well as everybody else's from who's going to be staying in this camp. Made it to my campsite. I was the first person out here, so I got first pick of the campsites that are out here, but that means nobody will hear my screams if a bear starts coming for me. This is the pond right by camp. Not sure if it has fish in it, but I need to get more water anyways. So we'll check it out. I've refilled my water stores. I got a bag of unfiltered water so I can filter later. Gonna go cook up some dinner and then head back to camp. Camp's packed up. It's time to head to the next campground. So I've only been hiking for about 14 minutes this morning. Way down there you can see the pond that I was getting water from. That's about where I started. So far, once again, it's all been uphill. Finally summited this little part of the trail. Then got the first part of downhill. Trail follows all the way back. Glad to see some downhill trail. Back where I started the trail earlier, there's a big old mountain goat. 2 of them. Finally made it to the lake. Whenever I was hiking up the backside, you could see a waterfall that seems to have been feeding from this lake, and then on that side you can see where a stream is feeding the lake. Let's get down there. Made it to the Lake Ellen Wilson campground cutoff. I gotta say, this short little hike today was very rewarding compared to yesterday. After getting past that first set of switchbacks, it was mostly downhill, which allows for a nice recovery today before hiking out tomorrow. Gonna try and get some fishing done in this lake. We're at the campground, time to go pick out a spot. So once again, I'm the first one at the campground and went and checked out all the sites, and this is the one that I've decided to stay at. These campsites are a lot more spread out than the last one, which that's nice. The other one, it kind of seemed like you were right on top of each other. Let's get camp set up. This tent's gotten way easier to set up over time. I used to have trouble with it, but now it ain't no problem. This is most definitely one of my favorite spots I've ever set up in. Looks like today's lunch is going to be Mountain House chicken fajita. In my last video, you could see that I was using my jet boil, which is a lot easier, but this trip I switched out for a Toke 750 milliliter due to saving weight and space in my pack, because I was going to need a lot more room, being that I came to Glacier for 11 days total, I believe, and everything that I was going to be needing was going to need to fly in on that pack. It doesn't boil water nearly as quick as the jet boil does, of course, so it's using more fuel, but it's definitely saving a lot of space. So what I've started doing with these chicken fajita bowls is once they're done, I'll add a little bit more water to them to turn them, to make them kind of more like a soup. And I'll take these tortillas that I brought and put them in there to absorb some of that water, and it turns it into almost kind of like a tortilla soup. Although this shoreline does not look too promising, I'm not opposed to getting in there and trying it out. I'm gonna go wade in the water. I could use a good wash off anyways. Holy cow. That is cold. That felt so good. A second ago, whenever I was walking back to the tent, they ran off. The bigger goat has tags in each of its ears. The ranger said that these goats have been pestering the campers, trying to get the salt from the sweat in their clothes, and will bother them at night as well. So I'm sitting here looking over the map, and look out, and there he is. So I'd started here at McDonald. Yesterday we hiked up here to Sperry. Stayed at Sperry Creek Campground. And then today we did that short 2.8 mile hike through Lincoln Pass was where it opened up. And now we're at Lake Ellen Wilson. Tomorrow, gonna hike all the way back up to the Going to the Sun Road, which is gonna be around 10 miles. So I'm walking around the lake, just trying out some new little spots, seeing if I can't fetch up a trout. And this place is just absolutely beautiful. This is gonna be the little valley that I'm gonna have to hike out of tomorrow. Right over the waterfall. I don't think you can quite see the trail on camera, but there's a few switchbacks going up and through that valley. It's gonna be a fun one. Can't really access the other side, but this shoreline just seems too shallow to try and get with the fly rod. I had a collapsible spinning rod that I was bringing, but whenever I was packing up my bag right before hitting the plane, somehow it found its way out of it, so didn't end up making it here, but it would have been perfect for this lake. Maybe next time. Although this spot is beautiful, it kind of sucks that I only had a little under 3 mile trek this morning to get here, then have to spend the whole day here. I did want to rest up after all that uphill the day before, but just kind of sitting around really makes me want to saddle up and head down trail, go see some more, but it is what it is. I guess after that first real hard day and resting up last night, my legs are just wanting to get after it again, because I really ain't just wanting to sit down. I want to hit some more trail, go see what else there is to see. But all in time, I think we still got another 7 or 8 days after today, so tomorrow we'll pack up, come out at Jackson Glacier Overlook. I believe we'll catch the shuttle. I'll probably end up going to spend another night in Apgar campground and then getting up early the next morning and try and get to the permit office and see what other backcountry permit I can't draw up. Got to wake up to this $1 million view this morning. Got camp packed up. Better start on the 10 mile or so back to Jackson Glacier Overlook, where I'll jump on the shuttle and head back to Apgar. Gotta go grab our bear bag and we'll be on our way. So this is the entrance to Lake Ellen Wilson once again. It's kind of hard leaving this place. And this is where the trail starts back up. Gonna be hiking out of that valley. At some point, gonna pass Gunsight Lake. Then we'll carry our way on down to the Going to the Sun Road and jump on the shuttle. We're almost out of this valley. About 3/4 of the way up. Let's get it. Finally up and out. That should be the majority of the uphill we're gonna have today. The rest should be downhill and fairly level throughout Gunsight Pass. I'm sure there'll be some more uphill here and there, but I think we got the worst of it beat. I went ahead and busted out my jacket. Got pretty windy and it's getting a little cold up in this pass. I don't have a clue how far we are, but probably still got a good ways to go. I'm feeling good. Finally got my legs under me. Worked the soreness out. I'm ready to go. It's beautiful out here. There's so many waterfalls. I've already lost count. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Almost, buddy. That was not nearly as stable as I thought it was going to be. So the boards at Gunsight Lake didn't quite say how far it was to get back to Going to the Sun Road, but it should have been about 5 or 6 miles, and I think I killed one of those so far, so should have like 4 or 5 miles to go. Some of the other hikers told me that they got to see a black bear on this trail earlier this morning. It's probably long gone now, but would have been cool to see. Should be fairly flat up until the end, and then gonna have to hike up for a little bit to get out. Let's do it. So it looks like it's been 7.2 miles since Lake Ellen Wilson. Shouldn't mean another 3 or so till we get to the Going to the Sun Road. So it looked like that sign was saying that they had treated Gunsight Lake as well as the streams that feed into it with some kind of chemical or something to get rid of the non-native fish, and was recommending not to drink out of those bodies of water. Should be coming up on the end of this trail. That'll make, I believe, somewhere around 18 miles overall. Although I did not prefer the east to west for the Gunsight trail, I think that first rough day really made me appreciate the next two I got to have in Gunsight Pass and at Lake Ellen Wilson. Overall, it was beautiful. It was good to be in Montana's backcountry, and it was a nice little first backcountry trip in Glacier National Park. As I've said before, I'm gonna come up on Going to the Sun Road and catch the shuttle back to Apgar. So far, we've made it 18.4 miles since the start of the trail. Made it to Gunsight Pass trailhead, all the way from one Going to the Sun side. And here's the other side of the Going to the Sun road. Now I gotta hike up another mile or so to the shuttle and catch a ride. This is insane! The wind, holy! This wind is absolutely insane! Oh.